All right, so Jermaine, you and I actually have something in common. We both went to Texas A&M, and I remember you on that offensive line protecting guys by the name of Trevor Knight, Jake Hubenak. As someone who is from London, England, how do you put into words what it was like to play college football in the South?
It was, how do I say it? I would say that it was a process.
Okay.
Like learning how things are handled down there, learning how things are, like the programs ran, getting used to the heat, getting used to like the way they play the game, and then also just getting acclimated to playing college football in general.
Well, here we are now. It is year 7 for you in the NFL. If you could go back in time, what would you tell 2017 Jermaine, who's getting ready to go through the draft process?
What would I say? I would say, you know, you're gonna lose your hair pretty soon, so don't take that lightly. Enjoy the time you have with it, because by the time you know, it's gonna be gone and you're gonna be bald. Then I'd also just have fun, you know, it flies by in a flash of an eye. Like I was looking back at film from my rookie year from college, and I was like, I cannot believe it's been that long. It's been 7 years since I was in college, and that's crazy to me.
Jermaine, this is the first time in your NFL career where you're with the team for longer than 2 years. When you sit back and just think about that, what goes through your mind?
I think about the journey to get here. I had to go through a lot of, you know, being honest with myself, saying why I was in the position I was in, what got me to that position, and how to get out of that position. And I don't tell a lot of people, but I felt like I was at rock bottom year, like going into year 5 of my career. I didn't know where I was going to be. Obviously, I was dealing with injuries. I was dealing with a lot mentally, and I just didn't know where I was going to go. And I knew that I had a lot of talent. I just didn't know how to bring it out and show people what I could do. And luckily, being in New England, I had a guy like Josh True believe in me and see what I had. And honestly, if I didn't go to New England and go through the trials and tribulation I did there, then I wouldn't be in the position right now.
Your journey here to the Silver and Black has been anything but easy. You had a stint where you were cut from a couple teams in 2021, but how did that time frame shape you now?
It just taught me resilience and discipline. Like I had to learn how to play this game at a high level and what it took. And getting cut in twice in a span of a week wasn't ideal, especially when my wife had just driven up to Miami, and then we had to pack and come out to Vegas. But then before that, I had to go to Jacksonville and play again the next day as soon as I got there. And you know, I've been through a lot, and that just goes to show that as long as you put your head down and work, you can really accomplish anything you want. But also, it just taught me that, you know, or just showed me that, you know, I'm meant to be here, and I have the ability to be here and play at the highest level, and I just gotta bring that out every single day.
Jermaine, this was the first training camp where you went in not having to fight for a roster spot. You know, what did that mean to you? But also, you know, how did you approach this training camp?
It meant a lot. It was truly the first time that I didn't have to worry about the roster spot, but I had to worry about my starting position. You know, Thayer's a great player. Brandon Parker, who went down with an injury, which sucks, is a good player. And we just have a lot of depth on this team now that if I didn't give everything I had, then I was going to lose my spot. And Thayer pushed me to become a lot better, because he's a great player also, and I think he's going to be really, really good. And so having him behind me, just pushing me and me pushing him, you know, we got the most out of each other doing that.
For the first time in 14 years, you were able to go back home this offseason. What did that trip mean to you?
It meant a lot. I've always wanted to go back and, you know, host a camp where I first started playing football, which I was able to do. And I think we had about 55 kids, but every single one of those kids was smiling. None of the, like, I think about 40 of them had never played football before.
What was it like to introduce them to the game?
It meant a lot to me, because I know that if I would have had the opportunity as a kid, then maybe my path to the NFL would have been a little bit easier, but you know, that was my part that God gave me to go through, and I wouldn't have it any other way. So now I'm able to give the kids over there an opportunity to play football, and hopefully I can make the journey for them, whether it's in football, whatever sport it is, or just in life, easier, and give them an opportunity to really be successful.
Jermaine, as we approach the end zone here, we started with Texas A&M, we're going to end with A&M. Tell me, how did your time in the maroon and white shape you as a person?
It was a blessing, because honestly, if I could do it again, I would. I loved every single second of it. Just the hospitality, how everyone treated me. Having Coach Turner there, Coach Sumlin, who I think was the best A&M coach. I'm not gonna throw shade on anyone. But it was a blessing for me, and I loved every single second of it.
Jermaine, thanks so much for the time. Good luck this season.
No problem, thank you.